We are waiting for
Nobody.
Leovan to get into the game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Okay, so did we return the bones, or we just had the bones, right?
We just have them for now. We will return them when we go
Okay.
back to Berez.
So we need to
not
return
Berez,
them,
sorry,
then
Malachi.
kill some Strahd.
Did we keep Anti-Strahd head?
You wanted to. You tried to.
Did try to.
All right, now maybe I can hear you guys. Especially if I turn off the office. Very, very important part of that.
Tends to help.
If you say so.
You're the DM, I guess.
For now.
Yeah, until next weekend.
Actually, I was going to do a little Starship Troopers there and go into until I'm dead or you find someone better. I forget what it was.
I have not seen that movie in a fortnight.
You haven't seen that movie in 2 weeks?
I don't know. I don't know when the last time I saw that movie was. I just threw some words together. Called it a day.
Birds and things.
Didn't that movie have like Neil Patrick Harris and Denise Richards in it?
Movie?
Yes, NPH was in that. And
Starship Troopers, Scott.
Casper Van Diem.
That's not the bad guy in Rocky 4.
You're the bad guy in Rocky 4.
There is no bad guy in Rocky 4.
What do you mean there's no
Always
bad
a
guy?
bad guy in Rocky 4.
There's like the bad guy in Rocky 4.
Yeah,
What?
Paulie.
That was so evil.
He killed.
Paulie
he
is the
killed Apollo.
antagonist throughout that whole series. It's very obvious.
Everybody knows the only real evil was Paulie's robot.
Very true. That was both the highlight and the low spot of Rocky 4.
Yeah.
All at once.
I must break you.
Sylvester Stallone just in a room is like, yeah, we need more technology in the movie. Let's have a robot that Paulie's in love with. What? Hey, who's right?
Why is there a vagina in the sink?
Okay, our turn, Katya.
All right, what are we waiting for? Let's do it.
All right, so as we've got the story thus far, who wants to recap what we did?
Well, last week we decided to do a little shopping and outfit ourselves for colder weather as we head south in Barovia, with a pit stop in Berez to eliminate the Babala Saga. Her fucking house came to life and started just raffle stomping all of us. And in a clutch move, Hagrid sent Babala Saga to wherever the hell she went. We killed the hut. She came back and we killed her too. And thus saved us from what was seeming to be a pretty bad decision. And we found the that amulet, and then we also found the bones of St. Andrel, and we decided we were going to continue on towards Mount Ghakis in search of the Amber Temple.
All right. One question for me, though, is which one of you is currently holding the Tomb of Strahd?
The Tome of Strahd?
Tome of Strahd. I'm good at it.
Tony has the Tome of Strahd.
All right.
I have the copy that I made of it, though.
All right. There we go. That is good. So we will keep you guys there on that page for right now. You are in. Actually, no, we'll move you back to Berez, where we left off. Now just to go through on pages that you've already been on, so you don't see something new.
Hey, this is the time that Tony almost got stole.
Yep. There you go. Berez it up, bitches.
Did I update my token with my new hit points? I did not. Bam. Okay. So did we put the bones of Saint Angel in the bag of holding as well? I feel like we keep putting things in the bag of holding, and then Tony keeps blipping out on us.
We'll say that minutes way in. So someone just needs to make sure that Tony has that in.
Fellas and Esmeralda, what do we want to poke around Berez anymore, or do we want to hop back in the wagon and continue downriver towards Mount Ghakis?
Well, is there a possibility of anything else being here? I mean, we can search a little, I suppose, but
DM, would it be possible for us to like all take 20 and kind of investigate everything to see if there's anything here?
You can roll, but you cannot take 20.
Ah, okay. All right, well, I'll roll, what, investigation?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's see, which of you is going to be lucky today? That is a 19.
19. Anybody else wants to roll? And then specifically, what are you investigating?
I want to check out the body of Babala Saga.
The decapitated head of Babala Saga? Yeah. Let me get the...
I'll investigate the area that looks like it's got is it a bunch of tombstones? It looks like it's a square with a bunch of things in it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm investigating this book to make sure that I'm in the right place. Okay, so we'll start off with you, Lucian. Through the fog, you see an empty shell and an old stone church, north of which is a cemetery leaning up, full of leaning gravestones, enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. Half of the cemetery has completely sunk into the mire. What you find in the guts of the church is the remains of a old iron bell and a collapsed steeple, but it doesn't look like anything of value has survived this level of saturation.
Okay.
Yep. With you, Leovan.
Yeah, rolled a 16.
The gemstone that you found in the creeping hut, you see another one written like in Babala Saga's person, and as you look through it and do your jeweler inspection or your best imitation of it, you sit there and see yeah, you see the etching on there that just says Wizard of Wines.
Wizard of Wines.
Yep. Anybody else to investigate?
Sure, I'll take a look.
All right. What are you looking for?
I want to look around and see if anything that appeared to be affected by Babala Saga is still a possible threat.
All right. Go ahead and roll survival.
An adjusted 15.
As you look around, especially with, as you look at all the scarecrows that came in, stuff with raven's feathers, you do notice they all left their original posts, which your character did not notice during the original fight with Baba Lysaga. What it comes down is everything before that had volume to it. It looks humanoid. Everything now looks absolutely sunken, and somehow even more lifeless than when you first encountered it on the post. Due to your best guess, they're not going to bother anybody anytime soon.
Okay.
And I just realized that I stole the Batman scarecrow instead of just getting actual scarecrows for the tokens.
All right. I'm fairly satisfied. I don't know if you guys are, but maybe we can head up the mount.
How many people are in bad shape? Is it?
I mean, I'm missing a small bit of health, but not much.
I'm missing most of mine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. No, if we level up, do we get reinstated? All our stuff is.
What we're going to make the assumption here is that you guys took a long rest and was able to concentrate on things like your tactics, new abilities. So it would have happened alongside a long rest.
Okay, so everyone's full health and spell slots?
That's the way we're going to rule it.
Okay.
And I don't know why we're saying we. I'm going to rule it that way.
Your benevolence is astounding.
Just wait.
You think I'm benevolent now? You just wait. So did anybody find anything while we looked around?
Everybody investigated what they were going to investigate.
Right. No, that was addressed at the party. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because I found nothing.
I found nothing also. I guess I wasn't really looking for objects, though. Does everyone remember that we got the holy symbol of Ravenloft?
Yeah.
Does anybody still not know what it does?
Something about vampires.
It's pretty badass.
Do you have the description for that, Hagrid? Because I forgot to email you that link.
It is a unique holy symbol sacred to the good-hearted faithful of Barovia.
Oh, yep, you can.
Should I continue or no?
No, I mean it sounds like you've got the right website. Looks also like I know I can't use that. I don't know about anybody else, but it looks kind of holy.
Well, it is a holy symbol, and it does hold vampire, turn undead, and it can create sunlight.
Nice.
First off, Hagrid, what is your alignment?
My alignment is lawful good.
Okay. Over the course of the long rest, are you going to try to attune to that item?
Yes, because I did not realize I had to do that.
Yep. So it's like I said, there's multiple hours for us to play with.
I just saw that it said that on the description. So,
as you focus in on what this icon, the symbol is designed to do, you begin to see it kind of radiate in your hands, and the gemstone, which was pretty pristine and bright to begin with, begins to glow even harder and brighter. And you feel like you've kind of learned its abilities, how it works, the arcane secrets behind it. So because of your alignment, you get to use any of those abilities.
sweet.
Yep. Whereas even if you're lawful neutral, you get to use none of those abilities.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I guess being a goody two-shoes is going to pay off for me this time.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah. All right. Crispin, haven't heard from you lately. Anything you want to do over this long rest?
Crispin?
I think I put him to sleep.
It shows he's still on the call.
Yeah.
Is he muted? I
Hello?
do that sometimes. There he is.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I don't know what the hell just happened. I just had to unplug and replug back in. But no, I think I'm good for right now.
All right.
I'll focus on my new spells.
Sweet deal. And next up, what would you guys prefer to do?
Shall we set out for the Amber Temple? Continue down the river.
Lost my to-do list.
I think Laven still needs to kill a bear. I don't think he bought any clothes.
I already have clothes, but yeah, I'm looking to kill a bear.
Okay.
I can do it on the way.
It was like, I think there's a part of that that's just for fun.
I'll do it on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, have we taken the long rest yet?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Well, there's still stuff you could have done over your long rest.
Well, I wanted to set a bear trap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you go ahead and roll animal handling. Or how well you work that trap.
Ooh, not great. I don't think I'm going to catch it this time.
How well can you set the trap? Like, where do you put it?
6.
As it turns out, bears don't live underwater.
Did anything else happen to land in the trap?
There's a little bit of plankton, but the force wasn't enough to activate the trap. To all the botanists and marine biologists who listen to this game, one, I don't know if plankton is a plant or an animal, and two, I don't know if they live in swamps. But they do in Barovia.
You can do
Alright.
anything possible.
I'll try again next time.
All right. So you guys are traveling south along the river. Any particular method of travel?
We're grabbing our boats again, or did Berez kind of block the path?
Are we able to continue any further south with the wagon?
Oh, that's right. We're on a wagon. Shit.
I would sit there and say no, considering that you guys went until you got stuck in the wagon.
Okay, so the wagon didn't even make it all the way to Berez.
The wagon's about maybe quarter to a third of a mile away,
Okay.
up north.
Shit.
Well, I guess we have a choice, guys. We can double back and get on the well-worn trail, or we can continue to try to take this shortcut, but we're going to be on foot, it seems.
Yes. Gotta do right.
I mean, I do have tents, and we have equipment to start fires and camp and all that stuff.
Right.
I've got rations as well, so we don't.
I mean, the trail is probably the better option.
I mean,
It takes longer, but it's less deadly.
Yeah. Do we really need to become trailblazers when someone's already done it for us?
What's the fun in that, though?
You know, sometimes I forget who I'm talking to.
We do have a bushman with us too.
I mean,
Bushman?
it seems like this place is deadly enough. We don't need to be doing them any favors by making it easier.
I'm
know
sorry.
what I'm doing.
For a second. Bushman. I'm not familiar with the term.
Yeah, he's from
It's-
the bush.
I feel like that's supposed to be offensive.
He lives out.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, guys.
Is it like that one time where you called a person drinking through the trash a trash panda?
Well, if the elf says he knows what he's doing, he knows better than I.
This is also the same elf that's decided to put a bear trap underwater.
Yeah, seems like a good idea. Bears eat fish.
You've never heard of polar bears?
I always thought that bears had more of a beet-based diet.
Bears don't eat beets. Bears eat fish.
Well, Irina said she never went to map making school. I definitely didn't go to school, period.
You definitely didn't go to bear school. That's obvious.
Do they make those?
Let's
How much time are we saving by not doubling back to the path? Let's just figure that out first, maybe.
Roll survival check to see.
Oh, that's not going well.
Him or me?
Oh, if it's me, it's 14. Adjusted.
Adjust 14. As you look through, the main thing that's going to hold you guys back is trying to turn the wagon around and get it to a point where it can get grip. And that may take a couple of hours if you use only mundane abilities. However, if you sit there and trudge along with that, you'd, one, get a heck of a lot less move speed because you're not on horses in the wagon, and it's going to be difficult terrain most of the way. So you feel pretty confident.
Is it forest?
It's mountain.
Or mountain, that too.
Yeah.
I've got favored terrain. Where is that?
Does that apply to the rest of us? Like, can you help us move through it?
Yeah, it's like for the party.
I don't think that's how favorite terrain works.
Hold on. Because I like lead the way. Let me find it. Or Natural Explorer. Natural Explorer. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel in your favorite terrain. And I've got 3 favorite terrains now. One of which is mountain. So I've got forest, mountain, and grassland. So difficult terrain doesn't slow our travel. We can't become lost except by magical means. Remain alert to danger. Get twice as much food
Wow.
While foraging, yeah.
while foraging. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That's nice.
I was about to say those are pretty vague, but those are literally the ones they give you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys sit there and thanks to Levin, you guys get spiky shoes. And figure, hey, if we get to mountains, spiky shoes will help us not fall.
I think there's a name for them, but I can't think of it.
Cleats.
Are they rock cleats?
There's a lot of research that goes into figuring out what you guys can do with a mountain.
Crampons.
Would you call them crampons?
Yeah.
Is that really what they're called?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I like spiky shoes better.
I do too, but that's what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? In the interest of exploiting a party member's natural inborn abilities, I vote that we take the path less traveled and allow our ranger to take the lead.
Just because this is what Tony would do, he's naturally going to descent. Snaps his fingers, AS picks him up, and just begins to hover off the ground. He goes, and then thinks better of it, and I can't take all of you at the same time.
Well, that makes our travel a lot more pleasant.
He will offer, however, to be an eye in the sky for you guys as you move.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a good idea.
He says a couple of crass things, but I don't know Tony well enough to say the crass things for him.
And if I remember correctly, Tony doesn't have his familiar again yet, right? Because he left it in the Hall of Bones.
Correct.
Okay, I was gonna say he could put it on me and spy, like what we were doing while he's in the sky. But I think that this will be fine.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So as you guys head south, and let's see how close I'll actually take you to the Amber Temple. English is good. Would you believe that it's my first and only language? As you guys go through the riverbed, where are we at here? Berez. You. At the end of the one day of travel, you find yourself heading south from Berez, following along the river, and you begin to see the river get enclosed by forest. At this point, what little daylight you have begins to wane.
Okay. So are you saying that we made it to that part where the river is surrounded by trees?
Make a
Photography check.
check to see how well your character can read maps.
Sorry, what kind of a wisdom check?
Yeah, wisdom check just for how well you read maps, and then a survival check with advantage.
Okay, the wisdom check is a 7.
Yep,
And then a survival check
with advantage.
with advantage. Okay. Whoop. Let's see. That's a 9.
You're not sure because, once again, what in Barovia can be trusted. But this is the first tree that you've seen in quite some time, and this is the first time the map has witnessed trees, as a collection, let alone an individual tree. So you're fairly confident.
Okay. But this is where we should probably make camp for the night,
Yes.
especially since it's going to take us some time to set up tents. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a lot of experience setting up tents. I just knew we had to buy them.
I pretty much just sleep outside normally, but
Liven, go ahead and roll a survival check.
okay.
Advantage.
With advantage?
Uh-huh.
Good thing I had that. 17.
You're beginning to recognize that it's a little bit like we're now getting into the area where it starts getting colder. It's not anything concerning of yet, but you know that someone's going to have to tend to the fire in order to make sure that you guys can remain comfortable throughout the night.
If we sleep in shifts, can we accomplish that, Laven, you think?
Yeah, and I only need half as much sleep as you guys anyway.
Okay. So do you want to take like the first 4 hours of watch, or do you want to take 2 hours of watch at the beginning and 2 hours at the end? Because we are going to need a set up watch. We're sleeping.
It's probably more time. Time-wise, it's probably better to do 2 at the beginning, 2 at the end.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. I can take second watch.
Okay.
Um,
I'll take next.
okay.
All right. So
6 hours, and then Laven again makes 8.
all right. So who's got the first watch?
Laven.
Laven does.
Laven, I'd like you to make 3 perception checks.
Perception. So 15, 21, and a 25.
And forests, are they a favorite terrain?
Yes.
All right. As you look through the area and try like, and you hear this rustling, you begin to investigate it. They're very small rustles. Based off of your idea, this is a pack of rabbits.
Nice.
And make a survival check to see if you can catch them, skin them, and have them essentially get those to be food for you guys.
24.
Yeah, your aim is so astute with your bow that you're able to get 3 of them. About 3.5 pounds of food total. You're able to salvage, and for 2 individuals, they do not have to consume a day of rations in order to eat.
Nice.
Yeah, but otherwise, nothing of import happens on your watch. Next person on shift.
That is
And-
me.
And I want to set my traps before I go to sleep.
All right. Bear traps?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see. Make a survival check to see if you know where to place the trap.
20.
You knew not to place it up in the trees. But, yeah, you've got it basically as a defensive point right now. Basically, if anything comes from a direction that you guys aren't looking at, you now know that there's something behind you that's protecting you pretty well. All right.
I have next watch.
I want you to make a survival check to see what your interpretation of the fire skills are.
Okay. Shit, that's a 5.
The fire's still there, but it's starting to get cold.
I would like to throw a bunch of wood on it.
Roll a survival check with disadvantage.
Gonna put the fire out.
9.
Yeah, this is exactly why I made you make the first survival check. It turns out when you put wet wood on a fire, it begins to mist a lot, get really smoky. The fire is not getting any bigger right now. It's not dead yet, but it's now making a giant smoke signal.
Oh.
Now, as you're going through this, I want you to make 2 perception checks.
2 of them. Got it. Let's choose dice that don't hate me today. Okay, so you said perception, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that is a 14 and a 24.
You're lucky that their stealth was a 1 and 2. You begin to see rustling from... So the bear trap is from the south. This rustling is from the east-northeast.
I want to rouse Laven. Laven, I hear something.
Make a performance check.
Okay. That's a 10.
Yeah, you wake him up. Turns out all you just needed to do is push him was enough to rouse him from his sleep.
The jackals.
Thank you, Mike Birbiglia.
What do you need?
Wait, there's something off in the woods up to the northeast.
And he's killing the fire.
Do I notice the fire?
And I think I did the fire wrong.
Yeah, you easily noticed the fire. I didn't realize Hagrid was awake at this time, but just sitting there, and he's face palming so hard at all of this.
Restless.
Yeah.
All right, I'll fix the fire in a minute. I want to check out what's going on in the northeast.
All right. go ahead and you make your way up there with no issues at all. Roll a wisdom check. Just straight up wisdom check. Add your proficiency modifier to see how you are able to.
Do we get to double that?
Yes. This is basically how well are you able to methodically search the area.
18.
Yeah, you begin to find, and I need to switch a page real quick. This floating blue orb that's just left there. This reminds you of the orb from the Barovian embassy that you stuck your sword through and something screamed at you. Back when everybody and their moms had rapiers.
I want to go back and tell Lucian about it, and then pick up one of my traps and put it right outside of the orb.
Okay. That goes by without incident.
And then I'm going to fix the fire.
Roll a survival check with disadvantage of the amount of water vapor that's in the area right now.
11.
After removing the offending pieces of wood, you do get the fire back to its old level. But as you look around, you're not finding any sort of dried wood around that really would help grow the fire.
Can I maybe try to put some of the wet wood over the fire so it would dry out?
Yeah, I mean, you can use sort of the stuff that you would have used to cook some of the rabbit.
Yeah.
And just put it on top of that to help dry it out. It still is going to smoke a little bit, but nowhere near as much as Lucian created.
Okay.
Yep. So now it's more like a smoke line instead of a smoke signal.
How long into my watch are we, Jay?
Roughly halfway right now. I'm going to have you make one more perception check.
Okay. That's much better. That's a 26.
You see two different more sounds of location. One is once again to the east-northeast, which is a little bit farther off, and one to the just straight east.
Can I tell what they are?
No, you hear rustling. It's not anything that you see.
Okay. Does it how far does it sound like? How far away does it sound like they are from us?
Based off of the way that it goes, it's about maybe an eighth of a mile for the one that's farther away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not terribly far, but it's not right next to you.
Okay. And what about the other one?
That one is probably a tenth of a mile.
Okay. And they're to which directions again? Sorry.
So eighth of a mile is east northeast,
Okay.
but farther away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one is just straight east, and that was the tenth of a mile.
Okay. I am not going to do anything with that right now. I'm just going to kind of keep, sort of try to keep tabs on the sounds and see kind of what their movement pattern is until it's time for Hagrid to take watch, and I'll let him know that I've been tracking them.
Roll another survival check then to be able to roll it with disadvantage because you're trying to track them without moving.
Okay. A 12.
You hear small rustles, nothing that would have equated to the amount of rustling that you heard. It doesn't sound like anything traveling. It just sounds like random small animals running around in the night. But you don't hear any major motions like you did earlier.
Okay.
But your shift has ended. Third shift.
That's me.
All right.
As I go to sleep, like as Haggard and I kind of change over, Haggard, I want to let you know there's been like movement out in the forest. Obviously, like we're in a forest, so it could be woodland creatures, but there were some large rustles that were quite a bit off that happened about an hour ago. So just be extra alert.
Okay. Which direction did you detect that in?
Well, about an hour ago, it was east northeast, and what was the other one, Jay? Did you say west?
No, east northeast and straight east.
Okay.
I did not say west.
Sorry. I've been able to remember one, but not the other for some reason. So yeah, east, northeast, and due east.
All right. I will keep an eye on it, or try to.
All right.
Okay. What's your passive perception, Hagrid?
14.
14? All right. All right. As you sit there and tend to the fire, roll a survival check to see how well that wood's dried out that Lucian or Leovan has put up to dry.
Ouch. That is an adjusted 6.
An adjusted 6. You sit when you look at this wood on top, you just sit there and laugh to yourself and just goes like, "Stupid elf! That's not how you burn wood." But you do notice that it's starting to get pretty cold. Like even though still sleeping comfortably, you notice that your half-orc friend is beginning to shiver a little bit.
If there's anything I can do magically, but it doesn't seem that it would do anything but kill us all. Or
let's see what I can do with my magic. Yeah, he'll just kill us all.
All right, I guess I'm just gonna try and figure out why I can't get the fire going better.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage because this should be simple enough.
Should be.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 16.
Yeah, your first thought is like going towards this. The main reason the fire's not getting warmer is because the wood isn't burning above the fire. Probably time to drop it down.
All right, then I
Stupid.
carefully put some pieces in one at a time, trying to figure out the best way to get them ignited.
This one is more for just if you're a log cabin or if you're a teepee style person. Roll a D100. Let me know the result.
$60. I guess 60.
All right, you are a straight up teepee person. Yeah, it comes in and based off of that amount of time, it still hadn't completely dried out, but it is way less smoky than what our rogue put on the fire. It thickens up a little bit, but the fire is now starting to catch. You're very confident that this is going to last until sunrise.
Cool. No innuendo jokes about the straight up TP person?
Everybody else is asleep, so it's up to you to make it.
I got nothing.
We can't do all your work for you, Haggard.
At this point, you hear. Let's see what you hear. Roll a perception check.
Nice. That is an adjusted 23.
So no more rustling from here. You begin to hear whispers. You're not quite sure what they're saying. You recognize it's common, but it's at the distance away it is. You can't make out individual words.
Not exactly sure what I want to do here, but I don't think trekking off to investigate is a good idea.
No, that's
I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna try and listen very intently and see if I can pick up any words I might understand, or see if they're possibly getting closer.
You're starting to crack up a little bit, so I heard you're trying your best to kind of focus your attention in.
Yeah, and I want to listen intently as I can to try and understand if I can understand any words, or see if they're getting closer or not.
Roll a perception check.
An adjusted 12.
They sound like they're getting closer, yeah.
All right.
As they come out, the one thing you do hear is, like, they're not moving. I don't know if they've noticed us. And then the other one just sits there. It's like it's only a matter of time.
All right. As I ready my blade, I say, halt and identify yourselves.
Roll an intimidation check.
15.
Let's see how they respond. As that happens, you just hear the voices go to themselves. It's just like, shit, chase it, as they begin to run away.
I look around on the ground for a rock.
I mean, you can find them easily, yeah.
Okay, I pick up the closest one and I whip it to where I heard them from.
Roll a ranged attack with disadvantage then.
So I get to add my dex modifier?
Yep.
15.
15? I want to make sure before I continue I heard that right. 15?
15, yes sir.
Oh yeah, you hit, you hear it land silently, right into what you could best guess is the center of someone's back. You just hear, ow!
Keep running, jizz.
Roll 1d4 straight up for how much damage it did.
A single point.
That's enough to kill a cat.
But a cat wouldn't say it. Ow!
Yeah, you don't know that. There's magic cats.
Well, that's true. All right, I forgot.
This guy wears if you.
Well, that was interesting. So what's how much time do I have left in my watch?
Your watch is expired, yeah. Who's got last watch?
I do again.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything happen?
I threw a rock.
Just for fun?
No, there were a couple of creatures got close enough, sounded human, common. They were whispering, and they heard me, and probably kill him. Unless I call him back.
I'm sorry, am I still connected to the game right now?
I'm still here.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You got kind of quiet and you were cutting in and out at the end there, Dad.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Okay, where did I heard some voices. They heard me. They ran away. I threw a rock at them.
You hit him?
Yeah, I think I did.
That's the way to do it. Did he ruin the fire too?
No, the fire's still going. It's smoky, but it's going stronger. You can see a look on the face where he kind of just sits there. It's like, some ranger you are. You can't burn wood that's not in the fire.
I'm gonna go check the couple traps I set.
So you set one. Like, where did you set your traps? What direction?
There's that one that was south of us.
Okay.
That was for bears.
Yeah, the bear trap has nothing in it. Bears and rivers at night, not really happening. Given how cold it is, you can also begin to get the suggestion that if there were bears in this plane, they might hibernate.
And then there's the other one northeast by the orb.
Northeast. Let's see. Yeah, there's something in that trap.
What have I got?
What you got? You got a nice little skeleton in that trap.
Ooh. So no meat.
No. You got some marrow bone for a stew going.
Ooh.
Is it dead or just trapped?
It's dead.
Okay.
The trap itself is going about maybe a half inch into the tibia of the skeleton.
Okay. I'll take him out of it and reset.
All right. As you go there, you begin to see when you saw one orb, you're now seeing multiple orbs as you're a little bit more keen towards seeing through trees. Going through here, you are not inside these four orbs though.
Okay.
They're all to your north, northeast, or just straight east right now.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the party and for the rest of the watch, have a arrow knocked and watching out the northeast.
All right, that's going to end the rest. It's now morning. You guys know there's something set up to your northeast. Not quite sure what, other than orbs.
There were more orbs when I went back there, guys.
Orbs? What the hell are you talking about?
I told you about the first one.
Oh, yeah. At first I was kind of thinking maybe it was Strahd, but why would he need 4 orbs?
He's overcompensating.
Was there anything else that happened last night?
There was a skeleton in my trap.
Okay.
Oh.
You ruined the fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rogues don't really camp much.
What kind of skeleton? Like a person skeleton?
The ones that get reanimated and walk around.
Ah. That doesn't seem right.
Just for the record, what here does seem right?
Fair enough. I mean, I still haven't found drugs. That makes 0 sense.
Wait, we could have picked some up when you were at Valakai.
We're trying to get him clean.
Now you're talking. Where have you been, my sister?
You never asked.
Are you holding now?
Why would I be holding now?
Because we're going on top of a mountain. Why wouldn't you be?
Why would I be holding now?
Ugh. Fine. If you want to get high, you have to get high. It's common sense.
What?
So, do we want to, like, I don't know, poke our head into one of those orbs and see where it goes?
I don't want to start with your head, but yeah.
Shoot.
Can I take, like, a rock and toss it through one of the orbs to see if it, like, comes out another one?
Yeah.
Are all the rabbits dead? I assume.
Oh, the rabbits were
They're all strung up.
skinned and cooked.
Okay.
How much rabbit fur do I have now?
3 medium-sized rabbits. So you can make You can make a great amount of rabbit's skin, like keychains.
Could I make like a hat?
It won't be high quality based off the amount that you have, but yeah, you certainly could try to make a hat.
I'll save it till I find another one.
Okay.
So you guys want to go check out the orbs?
Yeah, I want to throw a rock in one.
All right, roll ranged attack.
Okay. Let's see. So that'd be plus my dex. So an 11.
Yeah, you missed a stationary object. You instead of going and throwing overhand, you went sidearm, and it went across your body, and you just flat out missed the orb.
Okay, I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and stick my rapier in one.
Okay.
All right, roll a melee attack.
14.
As you sit there and take your rapier and try to poke it through, you're expecting just to have nothingness and the sword goes straight through, but no, there's a very clear border of this orb, and you just tap it.
That was unexpected.
So these ones are solid?
Yep, these ones are solid.
Can we pick it up?
They're pretty sizable orbs. They're floating in the air, and they're about 6 feet in diameter.
Can I push it, or is it in one like locked in its place?
You can always try to push it.
I'm going to try to push it.
Okay, make a athletics check.
12.
They're pretty locked in place.
Okay.
Can I make an Arcana check? See, like, if I can figure out maybe if they're, instead of a portal, if there's some sort of, like, scrying ball sort of thing?
You can try.
Okay.
Did anything happen to Laban when he touched it?
He looked
Also a good question.
8. Every single one of my dice are rolling like shit.
So, I'm sorry. What were you looking for with your ultimate check?
I was just making an Arcana check to see, like, if I could identify, like, maybe what kind of spell or magic was being used on these orbs.
There's a small bit of like a levitation spell on there just to make sure that it's off the ground, and that's the only magical entity you can think of.
Okay.
I want to try putting my hand underneath it, see if my hand goes up, see if it's like a natural thing pushing them up, perchance.
Sure. Go ahead and roll roll an arcane check.
14 plus... Where is that? 0. 14.
Yeah, you're able to successfully put your hand underneath, and doesn't seem to move from ways that you are not willing to move it.
Okay, this guy's good. Usually there's like a string attached.
At this point, you begin to hear a very familiar voice, gravelly, neckbeardy. And walking forward, you, like, once again, in his little condescending little clap, he goes, "Well, my half-orcish friend, I appreciate the compliment."
Where'd you come
You're
from?
welcome.
Do you not think that the smoke that you guys put up in the campfire made you easy to detect?
Not really.
I'd like to see you make a better fire.
At this point, he just turns his hands outstretched, and you begin to see fire emanating from his hands. It looks like he's preparing a fire bolt spell, and he goes, "I have 2 examples right here for you," and closes his hands and extinguishes the spell.
Then make a campfire. Let me see you do it with wet wood.
Is this what we're trying to do here? Pointless pissing matches?
Well, I just want to see if you can build a better campfire than me.
So yes, this is what we're doing.
I don't think that's pointless.
I think, yeah.
Well, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. Mostly my invitation to my castle, where we could have discussed your futures.
You're speaking in past
Wait.
tense.
You're inviting us somewhere?
I invited you. And
Guys, why didn't you tell me? I've been wanting to go to more social things. I've been telling you.
you know, normally I would have taken this declination of my goodwill as a sign of disrespect. But I recognize that you are newcomers in a strange land, and I will not take this as an insult this time.
Well, we
That's
meant it
pretty
as
nice
an
of
insult, so.
That's your choice.
I did not hear what Leovan and whoever was talking alongside Leovan was saying.
I grumbled, but we meant it as an insult.
Oh, okay. What I was inviting you into my castle for was to discuss that I grow weary of ruling this place. It's very dull, if you will. I was looking to leave this area and find my successor. I thought you, of all people, may prove to be likely candidates.
So you're going to kill yourself?
You really think that's possible?
So you've tried?
Strahd,
Yes.
should we accept this invitation to discuss transition of ownership? We are understandably hesitant to walk into the belly of the beast, as it were.
I understand your trepidation, but understand that this is not something that you apply for. This is something you are chosen for.
I just want your assurance that should we go to Castle Ravenloft and meet with you, that we will be permitted to leave of our own accord.
That is no longer necessary, for you see, the first test you have already passed. You have murdered my right-hand man in cold blood, and I see you have his weapon at your side.
I don't know if cold blood is the right way to put that, but
Oh, really? You murdered a person you didn't have a problem with. That's not cold blood.
you think we didn't have a problem with him?
What did he do to you?
He was a real McDouchebag.
Giant.
We keep Tony with us.
At this point, he begins backing away a little bit, getting a little bit farther to the northeast.
Look, this is probably my only chance to be the heir to something, so I'm kind of interested.
Why would you be worried about having a worthy successor?
Allow me to put it this way. You have a family business, a successful family business. Would you just give what you have spent your entire life trying to create to just anybody? Or someone that is strong enough, wise enough to respect what you've done and continue on to continue its greatness?
What makes you think any of us would follow in your vision?
See, I don't know for sure, but you have gotten much farther than anyone else. I believe you have also recently taken the life of the one who raised me. For 500 years I've been searching for people to take over. No one has ever made it that far. The bodies trampled by the creeping hut of Babala Saga is countless. I've stopped trying to keep track of how many adventurers were lost there.
Tell me about it.
Does Strahd happen to have like a spider-shaped burn on his face?
He does. Right there, dead center on the forehead.
So you said that meeting with you at Castle Ravenloft is no longer necessary. What do you mean by that?
The purposes of the meeting were just discussed. You have been put into the application pool, and testing has begun.
Well, then I'm sure you would not mind entertaining us as we swung by the castle to see what we're inheriting, if we're selected.
I believe you don't understand the nature of this. You are not currently in power. You sit here and you listen and you do. I am the one who tells you what to do.
Right, I was just asking if we could swing by the new digs.
Well, you haven't told us to do anything yet, so what is it you would like us to do?
Well, if you just follow me, I'll go ahead and tell you what your first task is.
Ooh.
As he continues backing up to the northeast.
Oh, why don't you tell us where we're
Interesting.
going first?
You're not very good at listening, are you, roguish one?
You're not very good at persuading me to do things I don't want to do.
We really have no reason to listen to you to begin with.
Guys, she's slowly backing away from us. Should we kind of be creeping towards him to...
Well, we don't know what he's leading us to.
We don't know what he's walking away from.
Turn around.
Okay.
As you turn around, I want you to roll just a straight-up intelligence check to see what your memory contains right now.
Oh, jeez. If it's me, it's a 4.
Okay.
So I ain't remembering anything. We're outside. I got that down.
Yeah, you're not really quite sure what you've seen, but there is a dusk elf standing right behind you. Except it doesn't really look like a traditional dusk elf. It's way more emaciated. It looks almost like a corpse at the same time.
Ghost elf.
At which point he sits there and says, "I'm sorry, but ghost elf isn't really the right term. I prefer my actual name, Rahadi."
He's back?
You really think that with all the power Strahd has, he can't raise someone from the dead? You're not the first persons to kill me, and if I have anything to say about it, you won't be the last.
So what are you proposing, Strahd? We go with you or we have to fight this douchebag again?
That perfectly surmises it.
You know, they told me you were a talkie rogue. That last sentence really proved it.
Look, Strahd. You think that a group of adventurers who are in the running for the candidate of taking over Barovia would be foolish enough and naive enough to follow you blindly without knowing where we're going. No. We require a little bit more information than that, as would anyone who would potentially rule a realm.
Well, I see. But information is not something that you have quite earned yet. So instead, why don't I just show you what these orbs around you do? At that point, he says a couple of things, and does anybody here speak Infernal?
I don't think so.
I don't think I do.
Definitely not.
No.
So you're not able to make out what words that he's saying, but at this point, the ground around you begins to shake, and then it begins to levitate. It's not that the orb itself is levitating off the ground. It's literally changing the way that magnetism works and pulling the ground away. It begins to separate into multiple states. And I'm going to switch the map for you guys. At this point, Rahadin, Crispin, as you see, begins to get some skeletal wings and and flies right next to Strahd.
Lovely.
And you guys actually moved. Wonderful.
Oh.
And this one doesn't exist right there because of the trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, Strahd sits there and goes, well, gentlemen, allow me to tell you, this one is just a test of your combat ability. It will not be a fight to the death, but we are giving you a extreme advantage here. It is you against myself and Rahadi.
And apparently 3 skeletal archers.
Those are just making sure you don't escape.
This isn't really a fair fight, granted, given that you and Rahadin can fly and we can't.
Is everything truly a fair fight?
You said flight.
Got him.
All right.
Can I make like some sort of check to see like if this is real or if this is some sort of illusion?
Based off of where you're at and your ability to investigate, not at the moment.
So what's to stop us from just turning around and leaving?
We're floating in the air?
You are.
How high up are we?
At this point, it's about 40 feet in the air.
Are we continuing?
So if I
upward?
dispel magic, we might not survive.
Is are the 2 douchebags up in the air also, or are they on the ground?
Yeah, everything is floating in the air at around the same height. Give or take less than 5 feet.
Well, I can dimension door somebody, but then we're stuck on an island with them.
Right.
At this, I'm going to ask everybody to roll initiative.
That makes sense.
I'm not surprised to hear you say that. All right.
Expect.
That's pretty good.
That's real good.
Well, those are the sounds of me going last.
These are the sounds of me trying to find a piece of paper I haven't already written on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. So I got plus And Richard.
Does anybody have something we can make a house out of real quick, and then we have to invite Strahd in order for him to attack us?
Speaking completely metagamingly, I think you're the one that gets that spell.
Are there trees around us?
Not currently.
Do I have my tent on us?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so 25 to 20.
23. Nice.
Nice, Laven.
Even at 23?
Yeah, we both
Yeah.
got 23.
All right, 15 to 20. All right, 10 to 15.
13.
Crispin, what'd you get?
8. Oh yeah.
Is Esmeralda not with us again?
Oh, I keep on forgetting to roll for her. Great, here's a battle where I have 3 NPCs. Let's see how bad I do at this.
Yeah.
She just keeps disappearing and showing up mid-battle, and she's trying to tell me she doesn't have drugs.
Guys are being real McAssholes right now.
Crispin, you should ask Strahd if he has any drugs. He's been around a really long time. You might send him.
Yeah, but if I smoke with him, I have to listen to his poetry,
and we all know that.
and that becomes a whole day, and I'm not ready for that commitment. Like, I need friends, but I don't need friends, you know?
Yeah.
What?
Sure.
There we go. So she's right there. And then he has... And he has... All right. Leovan and Lucian are up first.
You can take first action, Laven.
Okay. With the stuff that's drawn, what does any of that mean?
These are the different segments that come around, and essentially with the way things are moving, they're going to drift at 20 count.
Okay.
So you guys are essentially get to act before the shift happens.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna cast lightning arrow
Okay.
and then fire an arrow at those jamokes.
Which one specifically?
Rahadin.
At Rahadin.
Is
All right.
is he the closer one?
Nope, Strahd's the closer one.
Then Strahd.
All right.
I'm at this guy. Oops. Leash guy.
And go ahead and roll the hit.
Okay. 22.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
Sweet. 6 and 6 and 6 and 3. 21 lightning damage.
All right.
And each creature within 10 feet has to make a dex saving throw.
All right. How does a adjusted 20 sound for you?
That'll pass. And so he's going to take 7. Ooh, nice. Half of 15.
Half of 15 is down to 7 then. All right. What's up? Anything else?
And then one more, just regular arrow.
Okay.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
And then 6 piercing.
That arrow you notice did not do as much as you thought it would.
All right.
At this point, Lucian, you're up.
All right. Well, this battle has essentially negated my ability to get a sneak attack on somebody right now. Unless... Yeah, you know what? Sure. To start the battle, I'm going to pull out my short bow, and I'm going to fire a shot at Rahadin.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay. And then I have an advantage because of my assassinate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is a 19 to hit.
19 just barely hits.
Okay. All right, so that's a sneak attack because it's with a ranged weapon on an attack I had advantage with. For, let's see. Let's see, 22 plus 4, so 26 damage.
So we're going to start off. What is the damage from the actual arrow?
From the arrow?
Yes, not the sneak attack damage, the arrow.
7.
7. So he's going to try to... Actually, no, he can't do that because you moved before him. So for assassinate. So, yeah, it was 26?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just let go of my bow, drop it to my side, and draw BAO and point it at Rahadin. And I'm going to I'm workshopping this one. I'm going to say special beam cannon, and so BAO starts crackling with red energy, and 2 bolts of this energy go shooting off, one in a straight line, the other one spiraling around it, as I cast Eldritch Blast against Rahadin.
All right, go ahead and roll ranged attack.
Okay.
Or ranged spell attack.
Yes. All right, so that one of them was one of the bolts. Sorry, what do I get on that? Plus 8. So one of the bolts is a 21, and the other one is a 14.
21 hits, the 14 does not.
Okay, so that's 1d10 damage. 10.
10 damage, okay.
And that
There you
ends my
go.
turn.
When did he learn that?
All right, that's the end of your turn. Now it's time for the shift. Let's see which direction they go. Okay, 1-1, 8-7. Cool. So the one that you guys are on, come on. Actually do things. Shifts. Ding. That's...
Did you draw those in the map layer?
Yeah, that's what I did. So that one comes up. Go ahead and shift your guys up all 2 levels.
Okay.
Fuck. And now back to objects and tokens. So that will need to move up 2.
Hagrid, don't forget to move 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm rejoining the game.
Oh, gotcha. Something happened?
Yep.
So there's your shift. And now it is Rahadin's turn. Rahadin, using his powers of flight, does that do anything for you? Is going to fly. How far can he fly? He was right there. Oh yeah, he can get there easily. All right, there, and pulls out a great sword. And he's going to make 3 attacks on Esmeralda. What's this to hit? Watching the GM play with his toys, guys. It's a hit, that's a hit, and that's a natural 20.
Ooh.
So starting off with the 2 hits first. 10 slashing damage, 15 slashing damage, and now the critical hit. 7 up to 14. 18. So that was. So that's minus 10, minus 15 is 25. Minus. Did I say 17 or 18 on that?
17.
17, cool. Yeah, that made quick work of Esmeralda. She takes a couple of slashes right through the chest. Still alive, but not looking very good. And at this point, I need everyone within 10 feet of Rahadin to make a wisdom saving throw.
Damn it. What is that?
Esmeralda fails.
I probably did too. I got an 11.
Yeah, you failed. So that it'll be. No, that's 3d10, not 3d6. Shoot. 13. 14 psychic damage.
Okay.
As the screams of that surround Rahadin begin to fill your head and feel like verbal knives in your brain.
Ouch.
Now that Rahadin's done, Hagrid, you're up.
All right. I am going to take out the amulet of the picture of Strahd's parents, and I'm going to use it to use its Misty Step ability to move here.
Okay.
And then I am going to switch out to the holy symbol of Ravenkind.
Okay.
And as my bonus action, I'm going to use one charge to cast Hold Vampire.
All right. You make it flare with holy power. Vampires and spawn within 30 feet of the flares must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, target is paralyzed for 1 minute. Repeat the saving throw each turn at its end to save itself. So DC 15. It's wisdom saving throw. That is a 21.
Shit.
Mm-hmm. So that fails based off the Misty Step and that. I think that's it for your turn. Strahd. Hooray for books, everybody.
Books.
Gets back. At this point, you see kind of a wry grin. He just looks to you and says, "Perfect. The first one I wanted to challenge." As he comes straight towards you, slashing through, is going to start off by making 2 attacks at you with his fists. The first one's a natural 1. The second one is a 13 plus 9, 22.
The second one will hit.
That will start off with 22 damage, 8 of which is bludgeoning, 14 is necrotic.
I want to use Stone's Endurance.
Okay.
Six 6 of the damage will be reduced.
All right, so that ends up coming down to 16 damage then. And then he will come around and use a first level spell, Fog Cloud. And how big is that Fog Cloud? It's time to make a circle. Woot woot!
20-foot sphere, looks like.
Mm-hmm. And let me make sure I got that right, because I literally just guessed. 20 feet in diameter? Did it say?
It says radius, actually, so it'd be 40 in diameter.
All right, that's close enough. All right, so that circle is just a whole bunch of mist that begins to emanate. However, you can see Strahd just fine. Everybody else can see shapes, but you're not sure like where specifically things are at. Like you can usually tell which is Hagrid and which is Strahd because one's a Goliath and well, one's not. But it kind of obscures your vision of where they specifically are.
Okay.
Yeah. At that point, we're done there, and we are at Esmeralda. We'll make 3 attacks against Rahadin, 2 with their rapier, and the last with their silvered short sword. Natural 20 and 18 for the rapier. And a 10 plus what? 17. So all 3 hit, and that will do 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 damage off the top. And then the silver short sword will be 14.
So is Rahadin undead now?
Yes. Now Rahadin is undead. After looking at how the silver short sword began to burn when it slashed around the chest of Rahadin, you're very comfortable at understanding now this is more than just a Dusk Elf. That brings us to Crispin to end the round.
All right. Do I happen to remember what Strahd was wearing before he went into this mist?
Yeah, you know what Strahd was wearing.
Did it happen to be metal, perchance?
There's a couple of metal chains, yes, but they're not like actually touching him. It's kind of like a brooch on his overcoat.
Okay.
You remember his weaponry, none of which looked metallic?
In that case, I am going to position myself strategically, I hope. I don't even know how far that is. And then cast Thunderwave at the 4th level. Just try to make it so the edge does not hit Esmeralda.
Okay.
You might need to move over one. Right?
For 30 feet? It should go 1, 2,
30 feet?
Oh, no, that's 5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. Alright, so that is... What's 5? Make sure.
Flipping spells, dude.
Alright, he's got to do a Constitution of 16. Constitution save.
Constitution save for Rahadin.
Yes, sir.
How does a natural 20 bring you up to 27 sound?
Oof. It sounds like he takes half damage, I think. Yeah. And that would be 4, 6.
You said Thunderwave?
I said yes.
So if that's a 15-foot cube centered on you.
That's
Oh,
why I was thinking
fif-
you needed
So
to
you
be
need to
here.
be like, right
Okay, so where I was when originally. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
like there.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It's basically anybody that's in a square adjacent to you gets hit by that.
Yeah. I thought it was 30, my bad. Okay. So back to math. 14 plus what is that? 14. 28. I'll take it.
28 rounded down to 14. Rahadin begins to feel a little banged up. Parts of his ribcage are now exposed. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down, but he definitely looks way worse for wear.
Okay.
If Strahd could see this, he'd probably be pissed.
I think that's going to be it.
Okay. That brings us back to top. Lucian Laven.
Laven, you can go first again.
Okay. So can I see into that fog at all?
The way that it's read is that the fog is heavily obscured.
So I probably wouldn't like maybe jump over that.
I mean, you know where the ground is quite confidently.
Okay.
It's like where the fog ends, there's clearly ground.
Okay. I'm just going to come over here then. I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark
No.
on Rahadin.
All right.
And then I am going to take out my rapier and stab him.
Okay, go ahead and roll a hit. By the way, is floating ground a terrain?
What'd you say?
Is floating ground a favored terrain?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I thought that was a little situational. 22 to hit.
22 would hit, yes.
He's going to take 10 piercing.
10 piercing. Okay. Anything else? No, that's it, because you cast a spell and attacked.
But it was my bonus.
Attack.
What?
You got extra attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunter's Mark's a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else is a bonus.
15 to hit.
15 will not hit. Unfortunately, he read that one, and as you used your rapier, yes?
Yes, sir.
As you just came in, he was able to just line it up so it went through the already existing hole in his ribcage. Now that's the end of your turn. Lucian, you're up.
Okay. I look at BAO in my right hand and I go, "Are you ready?" And I'm going to use my bonus action to dash so that I can move up and across the gap to get behind Strahd.
Okay. Just for the sake of the fact that there is some sort of gap there, you probably can easily jump. Go ahead and make a acrobatics check to make sure that you can, like, essentially time it right so you're not losing stride.
Okay. That would be let me see what my acrobatics is, a 12.
Yeah, that's good enough. You just had to basically roll above a 5.
Oh, okay. All right. So I get behind Strahd to try to set up a solid flank with him and Hagrid, and I'll attack him with BAO.
All right.
That's cocked. Okay. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 would hit, yes.
Okay. So how many is that? It's 5, 6. Okay. All right. That's a lot of 2s.
Well, he's adding, sorry about that red line. That was meant to be a ruler.
6, 12. 16 plus 6, so 24. No, 22 damage.
22 damage. Okay. All right.
And then I'm also going to take a couple steps back from Strahd. And then I'm done.
As you do that, he's going to make a legendary action at the end of your turn in order to move without provoking opportunity attacks
Okay.
to follow you up right there.
Okay.
You're done with that?
Yep.
Rahadin comes up. At this point, oddly enough, remember that hole that you stabbed your rapier through, Laven?
Oh, I definitely do.
It begins to close up a little bit. And it looks a little bit like regeneration.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, at this point, let's start off with everyone within 10 feet of Rahadin. Make save throws.
Sorry, what kind of save?
Wisdom. Which Esmeralda failed.
13?
Fail.
Yeah.
18.
Succeed, so you'll take half damage on this.
Cool.
6, 12. So 15 psychic damage to those who failed, half as much rounded down to those who succeeded. Esmeralda is looking like she's on her last legs.
Okay.
I mean, aren't we all on our last legs?
Not a At that point, he's going to sit there and turn his greatsword on to you, Laven, for 3 attacks.
Bring it. As he's doing that, I do have multi-attack defense.
Okay,
So
what is that?
if he hits me, I get +4 bonus to AC on the rest of them.
Okay.
That's cool.
So the first one misses. That's a natural 2. The second one is going to be a 25 to hit.
That'll hit me.
And the third one with your AC bonus, that's another natural 2, so that's a 12.
Okay.
So that's 14 slashing damage.
Okay.
And that ends Rahadin's turn. That brings us to Hagrid.
All right. As my bonus action, because I still have the symbol of Ravenkind in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
to use it to create a sunlight charge.
Okay. So go ahead and knock off those charges. And once I actually get to the page that tells me specifically how that works, there we go. Expend your 5 charges. All right. Let's see exactly how well it can cut through the fog. If this is going to be like a lighthouse or if it's going to be like a mag light. That's a lighthouse. So that brings us to sunlight weakness. All right, go ahead and make a circle for where the sunlight is. And just for what's going to happen here is because of the fog, instead of taking, like he's going to take half radiant damage, the fog is covering up a little bit of it, but not enough to negate all the damage.
Okay. It's a 30-foot radius.
Yep. So just make a make a circle that's a little bit bigger than the one that's already made.
It's me to actually draw on this because I've never done it before.
Yeah, he doesn't know how. I'm working on it.
Okay. Here, that's a secret. I barely know how. Yeah, good enough.
Yeah, it's not quite centered, but yeah.
Don't care. Good enough.
30-foot radius of bright light and an additional 30 past that of dim.
Dim will probably not be enough to damage him, so I'm not going to worry about that right now.
Hey, I can see a little bit better.
Yeah, you can see that there's a lot of light in this fog. It actually makes it harder to see into the fog. Yep, but anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I want to move back up to him and attempt to melee him with my sword.
Okay.
That is a 19.
A 19 will hit.
As he's susceptible to my blessed sword, he is undead, right?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
he's susceptible.
So the initial damage is 5 slashing.
Okay.
The radiant damage from my divine strike is 8.
Okay.
Gather up my 4d6 for my blessed weapon. And that's 18 more radiant damage.
There we go. All right.
That'll be the end of my turn.
All right. So at that, you see as the sunlight begins to cut through, and it actually pierces through Strahd a little bit. So he does regenerate a little bit, but not as much as he did the prior turn. At this point, he is going to cast It's not going to cast at all, actually. He's going to continue making strikes, and this time he's going after Lucian. 2 strikes to Lucian, and then a... yeah, so we're going to start off with that. That is... where's the to hit here? A 27 and a natural 20.
Yeah, both of those will hit.
So start off with the regular one will be 8 bludgeoning damage and 14 necrotic damage.
Okay. I'll use Uncanny Dodge on the second attack.
On the critical hit?
Yeah.
Okay. And that one I'm actually going to roll because it's a critical hit. So 4, 8, 12. So that's 6 bludgeoning damage for the initial strike, and then 6, 11. 18 necrotic damage rounded down to 9.
Okay, so I took 3 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That fucking hurt.
And then that's going to end his turn. And then he's going to... he can't do it at the end of his turn. He has to wait for another creature to go. At that point, Esmeralda is going to be up. Esmeralda is going to... She's going to go for another round of rapier and silver sword attacks on Rahadin. Miss 11 plus 8 will hit. So 1 rapier attack, and the silver sword will miss. So that'll end up being 9 damage. And at that point, she realizes what she's up against and begins to just stagger away. Right there. At that point, Strahd is going to take a legendary action to move without provoking attacks of opportunity, and he comes up there. Bastard. Yep. So that ends Esmeralda's turn. We're now at Crispin.
All right. Since me and Rahadim haven't meleeed each other, would I be able to move without provoking an opportunity attack?
No, if you move, Rahadim would get an opportunity attack.
Okay, then, it doesn't say I have to be able to see them. I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm going to move to right about here.
All right.
And then 25 feet, 20, and 25. I am going to cast Mass Cure Wounds at level 5 after the opportunity attack, if you'd like.
All right, so opportunity attack, which is one single slash on there. How's a 16 sound?
Sounds, I guess, not lethal, so.
How does 10 slashing damage sound?
Still not lethal, but we're getting there.
Okay.
Alright, and then everyone gets back. Not that much. 10 plus 4. Everyone gets 14 back.
Everybody?
Each. Yep.
Nice.
Even Esmeralda?
I believe she's within 30 feet from me. Yes.
And you said 14.
And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, she can still get it. This is up to 6.
Cool. Esmeralda will probably thank you for that. She was not... She had more holes in her gut than she probably would have liked.
So 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, now we're not allowed to double up on spells, but would I be able to, as my bonus action, cast Cure Wounds on myself at level 1?
Yes, because that's different than Mass Cure Wounds.
Okay, beautiful. I want to do that because I'm still in the negative for this turn after doing that.
Okay.
And that is 3 plus 4. That's 7 more.
All right. That brings us back to the top of the round. Lucian and Leovan.
Alright. I'm gonna switch to the flaming longsword
Okay.
and stab him again.
All right.
That is a 17 to hit.
17 misses, actually.
Ooh.
He was just able to turn enough his armor can deflect it.
Can I use my inspiration to add to that?
Did I give you the D6 inspiration?
Yeah.
I'll let it happen now, but moving towards the future, because I didn't explain it, moving towards the future, you have to decide your unit before you find out the results of the roll.
Okay. So add 2.
That would be enough to hit.
Okay. And I'm going to get so 6 slashing
Okay.
plus 3 fire.
All right. That hole that just regenerated you went and slashed right through. You don't want him to have scar tissue or nothing.
I like you better that way.
All right. Next idea.
Again.
Okay.
Maybe I can hit him this time. Yeah. 18 plus 6.
That hits. Yep.
And 7, 8, 9 slashing, and 3 more fire.
All right. He is not looking good at all. Oh, Jerry, we're in some trouble here. Okay, is that all for your turn?
That is all I'm doing.
Lucian.
Okay. Am I able to see Rahadin from where I am?
Based off the fact that there is a lot of light in a fog, I'm going to sit there and say probably not.
Probably not.
However, you probably know exactly the way in which you came, and you haven't noticed a shift in the plates yet.
So if I was to cast a ranged spell, it would be a disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I guess I will use my bonus action to dash. Yeah. Oop, I need to click my character there. Okay, so I'll run to there.
There you'd be able to see Rahadin.
Yeah. Do you need me to roll an acrobatics check to cross the little gap again?
Yes.
Okay. You said I needed to beat a 5?
I said last turn you needed to beat a 5. What'd you roll?
Okay, that's a 5 plus... what's my acrobatics again? Sorry. It's 4, so 9.
Yes, you make it through.
Okay. So then from there, I will... I'll cast Eldritch Blast again at Rahadin.
Okay.
So let's see here. That is a 19 and an 18.
The both hit.
Okay. So that's 2d10. 16 damage.
16 damage in total. Okay. All right.
And that's it for me.
All right. At that point, we need to check to see if there's a shift. There is not a shift. Everything remains at the same spot. Rahadin's turn is up next. He begins to regenerate a little bit. At that point, everyone within 15 feet of him make a wisdom saving throw. So Levin, Lucian, and
Natural 20.
Oh, there we go. Finally, something.
I got a 17.
I got an adjusted 20.
The 17 succeeds. The 20 succeeds. What'd you get, Levin?
The natural 20.
All right, so you all succeed. So you all take half damage on this, and that was 16 psychic damage, rounded down to 8.
Okay.
He's going to innately cast Misty Step in order to come around, and he is going to be right there.
Of course he is.
And he's going to make 1 attack at Crispin and 2 at Lucian.
Oh boy.
The first one is to Crispin, and that's a 13 to hit.
Yes, exactly.
Then to Lucian, I've got a 16 to you,
The misses.
and a 24.
That one hits. And I'll use Uncanny Dodge.
So the first one is going to be 14 points of slashing damage to you, Crispin.
Okay.
Second one is going to be 16 points of slashing damage, rounded down to 8.
Okay.
And that will be the end of Rahadin's turn. That brings us to Hagrid.
All right. For my bonus action, I want to cast Guiding Bolt at Strahd at the level.
At the what level?
5th, 5.
Just to let you know, before you confirm to that action, based off the amount of light that's reflecting around, your vision out is obscured as well. So you would be making that at disadvantage if that would affect your decision making.
It would. So then, change of strategy. I want to once again use the amulet of his parents to move me
Okay.
here.
Dang, he's just chasing him.
Okay, I'll go over here. That's 30.
Cool. Oh, that's right. That is the magic item I just decided to make up for you guys. That's why it's not in the book. I invented it.
Yeah, that's the second of 3 daily charges I get to use.
Awesome.
I guess I'm going to try to make another attack with my sword now, since any ranged spell would be at disadvantage because of my proximity, yes?
You were cutting out, so you said you're going to make a melee attack because if you did a ranged spell at melee, you'd take it at disadvantage, which is correct.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that I interpreted what you said correctly.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Cool.
So, 16.
16 just barely hits.
Okay. That is 12 slashing and 8 radiant from my divine strike.
Okay.
And for the blessed weapon, another 17 radiant.
Oh, gosh. Who gave you that?
I don't know, some crazy DM.
What an idiot.
This fucking psychotic priest in Valkai.
Yep. All right. That the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right. He's going to take another. Uses 2 remaining legendary actions. So he's out. He won't get another until the start of his next turn to make a bite attack at you, Hagrid.
Good.
That is a 18 to hit.
Will not do it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that ends up doing a whole lot of nothing. You just hear him chomp, and you just hear clicking of his teeth like a dog that tries to catch a tennis ball but misses.
Did he break them off on my armor?
No. It was teeth on teeth, not teeth on arm. He was going straight for the unarmored portion. So now it becomes his turn. He begins his regeneration. And then he begins to look at you, Hagrid. He's getting a little bit angry. Turns out he might have given himself a cavity. He's going to make a swipe at you first and then a bite attack. So the swipe, that's a 20.
That hits.
All right, that will end up being 8 bludgeoning damage and 14 necrotic damage.
Wow.
And now for that's another 11 plus 9, adjusted 20.
That'll hit also.
All right, that's 7 piercing damage and 10 necrotic damage. You lose, your hit point maximum goes down by 10, and he regains 10 points.
Whoa.
Yep. At that point, he is going to end his turn, and that brings us to Esmeralda. Esmeralda, seeing the state that Rahadin is in, is going to move over here and start off by casting Firebolt, which misses. Then she's going to go around and throw her axe next. That's plus 6 to hit. And that's a natural 20. So that ends up doing 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Cool. And that brings us to end the round. Crispin.
All right, we're going to start off with Mass Cure Wounds for my last level 5 spell.
Okay.
That one is 9 plus 4, 13 for everyone.
What's the range on that?
That is everyone but Hagrid.
Oh.
Even Strahd?
No, it's people of my choice.
Yeah.
So
you're
not
choosing.
Rahadim and not Strahd.
Take this as a disrespect.
They're not going to be your friend anymore.
He rescinded his invitation.
How many hit points did you say it was again, Crispin?
13. I believe. And then I gotta go with Cure Wounds on myself again at level 1.
All right.
Treading water, but that's all I can do.
If you don't mind me, if you don't mind, whisper me what your hit points are, because you're not up on the.
Oh,
board.
okay. It's not horrible, but let's see if I can do it.
Because that does factor into who they're choosing to attack.
Oh.
Okay. Cool.
There we go. And then I just got 6 back, so add 6 to that.
Sweet. And just remember that the code is DM, not GM.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was a universal
No, you're good.
game thing, so I went with the universal term. My
No,
bad.
it's based off of what my name is.
Ah, I got it.
You have a lot of health, Crispin.
Yeah, but not a lot of armor to protect that health.
Yeah.
I think that does go into a few things. So that ends up ending the round there. Because Strahd regained a legendary action, when his turn started, he's going to make 1 unarmed strike at Hagrid. And that's a nat 20. Damn. That's going to be and 14 bludgeoning damage and 28 necrotic damage.
Who is this
What's my
guy?
total?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. So 12 bludgeoning damage, and I'm just going to roll the necrotic. So 5, 6, so 11. So 12 plus 22 will be 34 damage. So 34 total damage. Okay. Then we'll have top of the round go, Lucian Laven.
Laven, you mind if I go first this one?
Go for it.
Okay. I'm going to step up here. As my bonus action, I'm going to point BAO at Rahadin and say him. And then BAO and Rahadin both kind of glow with that same red light as the Eldritch Blast. But then BAO kind of, his glow ends and Rahadin's remains as I cast Hexblade's Curse on Rahadin.
Okay, so that's a new ability. What does that do?
I have a bonus to damage rolls against him, equal to my proficiency bonus.
Okay.
I crit on a 19 or 20 against him.
Cool.
And when he dies, I regain hit points equal to my Warlock level plus my Charisma modifier.
Cool.
Alright, so then I'm going to attack Rahadin. And that's a 26 to hit.
That'll hit, yeah.
Okay, and then let's see. That's one too many D6s. Alright. Let's see. Hang on, sorry. I have to add a lot of things here.
Rogues casting spells, man. This is why you don't do it.
So that's 39 total damage.
Okay, so he needs to make a Constitution saving throw now. to see if that would kill him. So you sit there and you your blade goes right through his throat, and he kind of just looks at you, and he's trying to laugh, but little spurts of black blood, are coming out through where his throat is, and you thought that would have been a killing blow, but instead he just barely hangs on by a thread.
Okay, and then I'm going to hop back 15 feet.
Leland, you're up.
I'm gonna step up and I want to punch him in the face.
Okay. Go ahead and make a melee attack.
What do I add for melee?
Your proficiency and your strength modifier.
Proficiency and strength. So 17?
Just barely misses. He catches your fist.
All right.
Toss a little bit, and some of that black ichor gets right onto your face.
That was a bad idea. I'm just going to hit him with my sword.
You can't switch weapons in the middle of an attack. Or can you? I don't know.
I only had one hand occupied.
This is true. You know, I'm going to say you can do it. Go ahead and do it.
Okay. I have a bonus action, too, if that helps.
Nah, I don't really care.
Okay. How's a 20 to hit?
Oh, a 20 hits. Don't even bother rolling damage on this, because he's at 1 right now. He's going to have to make a save at a higher DC to see if he stays alive. And he still remains alive. This one, you end up getting right to where his heart would have been. More of the black blood begins to seep down. It looks like he should be dead. But speaking out of game, he's rolling stupid high right now.
Why won't you die?
Yep.
All right, that's all I can do.
All right. That brings us to Rahadin's turn. That changes up his ability a little bit, so he does not regenerate. But he does get to make 3 slashes at you, Laven. That was not an intentional roll because I flicked it with my finger. That saved you because that turned a natural 20 into like a 14 roll.
Perfect.
Yep. So that ends up being a 22 for the first hit.
Which will hit?
For the multi-attack defense, the next one becomes 24.
Still hits me.
And the third one becomes a 15.
Misses.
All right, so that's 2 attacks. 15 on the first slash.
Okay.
And 12 on the second slash.
Okay.
All right, and that ends his turn. That brings us to Hagrid.
All right. For my bonus action, I want to take the Holy Symbol of Ravenkind out again and use another charge to try and cast Hold Vampire.
All right, so that's another DC 15 save against Mr. Strahd. That ends up being a 12. However, he is going to use a different thing called Legendary Resistance to choose to succeed instead.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. In that case, then I would like to cast Flame Strike.
Okay.
Yes. Right there.
All right, cool. Also hitting skeleton, I'm assuming.
Don't care about the skeleton.
Yeah.
And I'm going to actually call upon my divine intervention.
Ooh.
Ask my god to assist me in this spell to increase its power and damage.
Where is that divine intervention? Where is divine intervention?
So it's like the second or third page in the cleric.
That's why I'm looking at spells. What a dummy.
Dummy.
All right, so roll a D100 and let me know what it is.
$10.
It's exactly a 10.
Exactly. It rolled. Well, double zeros is that double zeros or 100? I don't remember.
It doesn't matter because double zero means that you rolled a 1. And either one of those numbers would have worked. Okay. So that's successful. And what was the, what did you ask for?
Flame strike at the 5th level.
Flame strike at the 5th level. Instead, based off of your divine intervention, go ahead and cast that at the 7th level.
Okay. You gotta roll for your dexterity saving throw first.
Okay. That will be a natural 20 coming up to 29.
Okay. So you take half damage.
Cool.
Strahd's he's a bastard.
Yeah. Okay, so 6d6. $22.
And that's cast
Fire
at 7th level?
20, yeah, that's 7th level.
Cool. 22. That's the regular or the adjusted?
That would be the adjusted. You would take 11 fire damage and 11 radiant damage.
All right, cool.
Wow, not as effective as I would have liked.
I mean, this is, like, you are fighting Strahd, unfortunately. The fact that you guys are still alive right now is pretty damn awesome.
I figure this is do or die. I don't care.
Yeah. All right, so Hagrid's done, so that brings us up to... Oh, I've got too many books open right now. Pages everywhere! Strahd is going up. And he's going to cast Greater Invisibility. And you just end up losing sight of him. You just see him vanish right before your eyes. As I find something that looks like invisibility.
Could just move him to the GM layer, and we wouldn't be able to see him anymore.
There you go, vapors. I could, but then I'd have to learn how to do that.
You just right-click on him, and the bottom option should be change layer.
He's gone.
There we go. And now we'll go and move him. Cool. He's done. That brings us to Esmeralda. We'll make another fire bolt on Rahadi. That one still misses. She'll instead drink a potion of healing to kind of recover. How does 8 damage sound? Oh, gee, thank you, GM. I'd really like this NPC to not die. You're welcome, GM. Crispin, you're up.
I guess I'm gonna poke at Rahadi with my great sword of great swording.
All right. Go ahead and roll a hit.
Adjusted 24.
All right, time for him to make an even higher save. How do you want to do this?
I just want to just poke him and say, and this time stay dead, please.
As that happens, you get him right to where the previous neck wound was, and his head is about 60% unhinged. But the other 40% is still attached well to the rest of his body, and he just slumps down into a pile with tarry black blood coming out.
Woohoo! I get 5 hit points back.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'll just move a little bit and end my turn.
Back to the top. At this point, we're going to break initiative, as it does not appear like you guys are fighting right now, but you're still floating in the air. Let's see if we shift. There is no shift. These are very stable planar shifts. Anything that you guys would like to do at this moment?
Can
Everybody-
anybody?
I can take someone over to Hagrid.
Actually, I was going to jump back over where you guys were.
Oh, okay.
Can I see that like Strahd and Hagrid are no longer fighting over there, like through the fog?
Sure.
Like,
Not
can I notice there's only one shape?
You do notice that the hold on 1 second. Let me delete that because there's another concentration spell. That fog disappears. How long does the light last for?
10 minutes.
Yeah, the light's still there, but you can see Hagrid on the other side of it. Why can't I eliminate you? Not speak to the circle, not you guys.
So looking around, seeing that Strahd is no longer here, but I'm assuming
Did
that he
Hagrid
can
do
still
it?
hear me. I'm gonna say, "All right, Strahd, we played your little game. Let us down."
There is no response.
Right back.
Hagrid, where's Strahd? Did you kill him? Did you push him off the cliff?
No, bastard disappeared on me.
Ah, shit.
So he could be standing right in front of me. I have no idea.
Where's Tony and his stick when we needed him?
Why don't we regroup and take defensive positions?
And I want to use my hide in plain sight ability to, like, just rub myself in mud, basically, and try to hide.
Well, the center island's still covered in radiant sunlight, so let's go back to back to back in the center, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. I really need to rest them right now, so we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll get right back to it.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So Strahd automatically regenerates into his coffin, though, even if we kill him, right? Or something like that. Groovy.
Okay, I've returned. Aaron, did you ask a question? Can I get a roll call?
Crispin is here.
Did you have a question about Strahd?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I'm back.
I don't remember.
Cool.
So,
Oh, now I remember. Yes, if we kill him, does he just regenerate back into his coffin? Is that why we had to destroy? We thought we had to destroy the coffin.
for Strahd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is for pride then.
So I tweeted that we were fighting against Strahd and Rahadin, and the Twitter account for Irina Kolyevich retweeted it, or not retweeted, but responded to it. She said that Rahadin is a sad fanboy who wishes he was me. You've got this.
You barely had enough to not die.
And then I said, "Thanks, Irina. Always good to have your blessing." And she says, ... I made it to Valakai safely, right? I was like, "Of course, girl. NASA wouldn't let you down like that."
That's great. We're actually getting, like, because I got retweeted by Strahd Von Z earlier yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. With their Dicey Boys meme that they posted. All right, we good to continue?
Yeah. Do we still each get to do something? I mean, you asked what at this point in time, what do we want to do?
Yeah, were we still planning on meeting in the center?
Yeah, that's my plan.
That's what I was going to suggest, because I definitely want to use the amulet again. It's the last charge
Okay.
to move here,
Done?
and I suggest everyone else get in as close as you can, because I want to cast Mass Healing Word.
Oh, nice.
How far away from you do you have to be?
60 feet.
Okay.
Do I have to wait for my next initiative turn, Jay, or can I just go ahead?
Initiative is broken because it does not appear like you are fighting.
Okay. Mass Healing Word at the 4th level.
Okay.
Do we see the light that we're in shimmering off anything like we would think Strahd might be here?
Ooh, like Predator.
Yes.
Tell us he's not within the circle.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out my spell here.
Shit. Guys, I think we should have brought Rahadim's dead body over here, because he may just be being brought back to life again.
I mean,
Go ahead and roll a perception check, Crispin.
That is an adjusted, what is perception? Adjusted 13.
As you look over to it, you don't see him, like, revitalizing. You actually see him evaporating.
Oh.
And you see mist beginning to form.
Is Rahadin a vampire now?
Based off of what limited knowledge you have on vampires, one would suggest that not only was he revived, but given the gift of vampirism.
Bastard. I hate that guy.
But he still's got like 24 hours till he regenerates, though.
How long has he been there in that vampiric state? Because he's been inside the circle of sunlight.
It did damage.
Okay. Speaking of damage, here's some anti-damage. Unfortunately, it's only 9, but everyone gets 9 hit points back.
Thank you, Haggard.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I thought it'd be a better spell, but it's kind of weak.
It's probably just because it's healing word.
Yeah, I mean, you sat there and did 9 times 6 people. That's 45 damage. That's not bad.
I am still really feeling it from when Strahd decided to wallop me in the face.
Yeah.
That was
At
not
this-
fun.
Yeah, at this point, you see just each of these skeletons here begin to one by one disappear. They're
I'm gonna
not.
touch.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
gonna touch Lucian for second level cure wounds.
Oh,
To help
What's
him
it?
out.
He wants to cast a second level cure wounds on me.
cool.
That is 7 plus 4. That's 11 back.
Oh, thank you.
Is everyone else really bad shape? Do the same thing.
Esmeralda.
I mean, I'm not at full, but I would say I'm not in bad shape, so I can always heal myself. So, if Leovin's good, and I guess Esmeralda's kind of probably still left.
No, based off of the fact that she stopped getting like multi-slashed, she's not looking the best, but she's looking like she can hold her own now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I'm still a little battered, but I'm doing pretty good.
I'm relatively okay. I'm probably 3/4. And
So-
I have
Yeah, so back to the narrative a little bit. As you look around towards the orbs, you see all of the skeletons not like crumble, not become a pile of bones. They just disappear.
And we're still up here floating around like a bunch of jackasses.
How long has it been since we've last seen Strahd?
Based off of this time and the amount of time it took you to cast spells, it's been a couple of minutes.
Oh,
Maybe we
Strahd! Are you
No.
still here?
we just have to disappear.
I mean, we could Featherfall in style, but
At this point, those who wish to roll perception checks.
Okay.
oh, fudge. That's adjusted 11.
Pretend I didn't roll.
Yeah.
13.
I think I rolled the same. Yep.
Those who rolled 13s notice that the orbs are beginning to no longer emanate light. They're sitting there, and then one by one, they begin to fall straight into the earth.
I would like to cast Featherfall quickly.
How high are we up?
40 feet.
Oh,
40 feet when the battle started. Based off the amount of rounds, you're probably closer to 60, 65 feet in the air now.
So we let it fall, and then we jump right before we hit the ground.
yeah, the elevator thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What's an elevator?
This is.
We've been in an elevator in this game.
I mean, I could do Featherfall and we could jump because it's
Elevator.
60 feet per round.
Okay.
You guys did not, or I did not. You guys did.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Esmeralda wasn't in that building, by the way.
I mean, I've got 50 feet of hempen rope and a bunch of pitons. I could, allow us to climb down 50 feet at least.
I have some rope too.
I
Pythons,
think
yeah,
problem
Pythons
is-
work like that.
The
What?
problem is, as the orbs are disappearing, the land we're on is going to crash back to where it was.
Yeah. So climbing down, we're gonna have no tension, right?
That's a very astute thing. There's nothing to grip into the Pythons into. And at this point, you begin to actually feel the beginning of acceleration into the ground, like
Okay.
towards the horizon.
Featherfall on me and all my friends, whether they want it or not.
All right, cool. As that comes down, anything else you guys want to do as you begin to fall further and further?
I don't
Jump.
have anything I can do other than allow Featherfall to try to save me.
Yeah, let me make sure I got the reading on this.
I want
As
to try to jump
as
at the last second.
begins to jump, you see that not only does he jump, he kind of hangs into the air. And you say, it's like, man, he might be able to have a career in Barovian track and field. And he begins to fall slower and slower. And the distance between him and the ground becomes larger and larger. So, Alphabet, help me out here.
Mistake.
Yeah, and based off of the height there, you guys all fall at a constant rate, and you take no damage from landing on the ground, and you can choose to land in whatever style you so choose. Just, I wouldn't recommend 3-point style. That gets a lot of arthritis over time.
I'll do the tuck and roll.
Yeah,
Cool.
tuck and roll.
All right, and so ends that encounter. This took about maybe a half hour in game time. So you're still right at the beginning of the day.
So that was fun.
When we last saw Strahd, he was looking pretty fine. Like, we didn't really do anything to him this whole time, right?
Based off the fact that you were able to see him through the fog at most times, you have no idea.
Hagrid?
Hagrid, how'd he look?
He just looked pissed.
Yep.
Okay.
Esmeralda sits there and goes like, yeah, he does that most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's not writing poetry.
Well, what's our next move? Keep heading to the mountain, or did this kind of change our... I mean, if anything, I think we need... It's obvious we need as much help as we can get to beat Strahd, so...
Yeah, and if we kill him, we need it to be permanent. So I think we need the Amber Temple's help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, at this point, Hagrid, you begin to hear a whisper around you. Hold up. Yeah, you begin to hear a whisper around you, and it just sits there and goes, "You have passed the test of strength. I shall return and will continue assessing your abilities to lead." Do you care to respond?
Only Hagrid hears this.
Mm-hmm. Only Hagrid
Okay.
knows this. He looks around, sees nothing that would have created who would have spoken to him, but it sounds a lot like Strahd. At that point, he realizes the speech is coming from inside his head, but the voice is unmistakably Strahd.
I simply respond with, "Come at me, bro."
All right, that ends that spell. Awesome.
Now, can we tell if the floating rocks we're on moved, how much they moved? Because they moved a little bit. Do we still know where we're at for the most part?
Yeah, you see that it moved mostly straight up into the air, kind of like Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay.
But when it crashed down, it crashed into tiny little pieces there. There's some dust storms that came up.
No sign of the orbs?
The orbs are there on the ground, inert at this time.
Okay.
Do you want to take like 30 minutes or so, do a short rest, and heal up a little bit with hit dice if we need to anymore before we head up, continue heading towards the mountain?
Well, that only took a half hour. Why wouldn't you want to take a long rest?
Because we just woke up 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Key is we're resting exactly where they found us.
Yeah.
We could gain back everything at that point, and still probably be moving during the day. While
We're going on foot and stuff, right? So we can't have
Correct. You
people
guys
sleeping in the cart or shit.
Carriage out of the mire.
Unless we piggyback each other.
Look, we just messed with Strahd. We heard those voices, last night. I mean, I'd say a short rest at most, and then get to moving before more people find us.
Yeah, we shouldn't stay here.
Might be hard to fall asleep after just waking up a little bit ago, too.
Yeah.
Is anybody in really bad shape?
Nothing that hit die can't do.
Okay.
Jay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Those 10 hit points I lost off my max, is that permanent?
That is until you complete a long rest.
Shit. All right, so we
We're just
short
gonna take a
resting
minute.
it, or
Yeah, we might as well.
How long of a short rest?
It'll be roughly about a half hour.
Okay.
This would also correspond to, it just takes you a little bit longer to tear down your camp.
okay, using 4 hit die. That's 8, 9 plus 6, 15 plus 58 plus 15. 16. Oh,
Okay.
1 away from full. Beautiful. I mean, I'm feeling very good off myself.
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
I'm good. I'm
Got
good.
my Hexblade's curse back too.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being a warlock is for the lack of spell slots, everything comes back in a short rest instead of a long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Lucian, when did that start happening?
Kind of after the fight with Baba Lysaga, I started kind of feeling a sort of resonance with that sword that we picked up off of Rahadin.
So you got to use it back against the guy you took it from, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty poetic justice, I thought.
Was it?
But yeah, so I can, it looks like sort of curse people and shoot shit out of the sword. It's kind of cool.
Very cool.
I'm sorry, you said it was the sword that granted you that ability, the scimitar.
Yeah.
And Irina, the sort of jumpy one, she told us that there's arcane items that we were heading. The Amber Temple.
Yeah.
So perhaps we can find out more about that sword and see if there's others like it.
Yeah, that'd be good. I mean, it helped me out. We should see if there's others that help the rest of us.
I mean, I'm already magic as fuck, so.
And that you are. But magic doesn't mean anything if a sword can instantly go through your throat.
Yeah, that can happen very easily, we found out.
So it seems like we don't really stand to lose much by going to the Amber Temple.
Well, shall we away?
I think we should definitely continue on with the game plan we set in place.
Yeah. All right. So camp's packed up. Fire's
All right.
been-
Laven, lead the way.
What are you guys currently wearing?
My
Cold.
traveler's clothes?
Yeah, I put the traveler clothes on when it started getting colder as we got to Berez.
Wonderful. That just
And I just want to match with my friends, so I put mine on
we'll
too.
just save for a little bit later.
Medieval Under Armour.
Medieval
That's right.
armor.
As you guys go through, you find that the river is beginning to run. For those of you, you are right on the north side of Salinka Pass. So that bridge next to T, like just to the east of T,
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's where you guys are at, just on the north side of that bridge.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Laven, when you and I were looking over the map before, this was the spot I think that we wanted to try to hook back up with that road. How high up is that bridge?
That requires me going to a different chapter. Hold on. Good old. This is. The problem with this book is not everything here is written in like a geographical order.
Yeah.
So it messes with me super hard.
Well, we're figuring that out. Should we be concerned with how Strahd can obviously see us at every point? Or do we already?
I mean, one of us is a rat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a
Oh.
feeling that he's been watching us anyway, like watching our moves, knowing what we're doing. But I don't
I
think
mean,
we
if
can really let
they're
that
tried
stop
to-
us.
Yeah.
But should we be concerned that he's letting us go to this temple?
I mean, he let us kill Babala Saga.
I still think that he's trying to test you guys. And he's observing to see what you would do. My other thoughts on this is if we tried to obscure ourselves, I think he'd still know where we are because we're the only thing that he can't directly see. And that is about the same as him being able to see everything.
Yeah.
So unless we have some ability to make multiple holes in his vision, the lack of vision is pretty much as good as him just seeing us.
Is that how scrying works? I don't even know.
Pokemon guy.
Yeah, so scrying is basically on a target itself, but you don't know if there's ways that he can see you by more than just scrying.
What if we hide? And we don't move.
I mean this with the utmost respect, but try your best. See what happens.
As Laven just blends in with the fucking scenery because he's covered in wood.
Yep.
At this point, he retroactively gets ripped out of the narrative. Where is this?
So our only directions are it's on top of the mountain. We don't. Did we bother to ask what it looks like?
I imagine it looks like a temple.
I think we'll know it when we
There's
see
a lot of
Didn't
different
have a lot
temples.
of information about it either.
Yeah, it was mostly legend.
Yeah,
She mostly Jeff Goldblumed about it.
but I mean,
Yeah.
We just
from
get
where
to
we are. It
run
looks like this path, travels sort of deeper into the mountain. So
Right, where else would it go?
yeah,
Horse as good as lead as any.
We could just climb straight up
it sounds difficult.
and fun.
All right, because I'm not seeing it readily, we're going to sit there and say it's probably close to about 75 feet in the air. The bridge over where you guys are at on the river.
Okay. Is there any way we can follow the supports either forward towards Mount Ghakis or backwards from traveling northeast there to meet up with the road?
For the sake of the narrative here, using your hempen rope and the python, like climbing pythons, given enough time, you guys are able to climb up. Go ahead and roll survival checks to see how quick you all get up the surface of the road.
21.
21 as well.
Yeah, you guys make it with almost no issue at all. It takes about maybe 15 minutes to get everything set up, another 15 minutes to get up the rock face, another 10 minutes to put it all away in your bags.
And when we get up there, do we see any path?
Yep, you see the road. At that point, you are just on the eastern side of Salinka Pass.
Okay.
All right. High fives all around, guys. Woo, we climbed. All right. Onwards and forwards. About what time of day is it, Laven? What do you think?
I look at my watch.
You need to draw a new battery.
I think typically we tell time by looking at the sun. You seem to be better at these sorts of things than me.
What do I roll for that?
Survival.
Okay. 25.
It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You got maybe a couple hours more of daylight.
Yeah, so I look at my wrist and I tell you that.
Lucian, if you would like, roll insight.
Okay. That is a adjusted 20.
You begin to realize exactly how much being alone for his entire life has really began to mess with Laven.
As always, I just brush off his odd pantomime, and let's continue up the road then, guys, and maybe along the way we can try to pick up like some
Hitchhikers?
not hitchhikers, like dried wood, like wood that isn't soaked. Maybe
Good
we can try
call.
to find more dry wood to carry with us. I mean, we don't have that much further to go before
Or if there's
campfire.
damp wood, yeah, just pick it up now so it has a chance to dry. Maybe.
Try to get some sort of firewood ready for tonight.
Yeah, good call.
Make things easier for me since I don't know how to build a fire.
So look at you learning about fire.
Based off of our ranger's ability to forage, I would sit there and say that's so easy. I am going to have you not roll to see if you succeed or fail, but roll a D100, and that is how many minutes it takes you to find enough wood to keep a fire going all night long.
Me or Corey?
The ranger.
Okay.
The warlock doesn't know how to start fires.
I do have 10 bucks though.
Not safe.
98.
So it takes you roughly about an hour and a half to find wood that is of adequate size. It's big enough to sit there and sustain a fire, but not so big that it'll weigh the party down. But
And that's as we're traveling?
yeah, so it won't affect your move speed. Your encumbrance is all fine.
Nice, nice.
By the way, last night, Laven, your rabbits that you caught, your bracer of conies, Jay, you said that was enough to feed 2 people, right?
Yep.
Okay, I marked off a days of rations for myself. I figured I'd let you guys figure out who got the rabbit.
How are you tracking that?
Based on what he bought.
Yeah, I have 14 days of rations because I had 10 and I bought 4 more before we left because I didn't know how long we'd be on the road.
I'll have a ration as well of my own, so. But.
Crispin, or I'm sorry, Laven and Haggard with free meals.
Okay.
And should you so choose to wear like the rabbit feet as a necklace, kind of like how Daryl did with zombie ears in season 2 of The Walking Dead? That's your flavor. You can decide to.
I really want to make this rabbit, so can I find more rabbits?
What's that?
I really want to make a rabbit hat.
Okay. All right, so as you guys continue on, making your way towards Mount Ghakis, it begins to get colder. I'm going to have everybody here make a survival check with advantage to see what the cold does to you.
Ooh, advantage. Oh, that did not help.
Nice, 19.
Adjusted 20.
My survival. Adjusted 9.
All right.
Orcs don't like winter.
11.
No.
All right, for everyone who rolled underneath a 10, your hands begin to start to go numb and tingle a little bit.
But is that just withdrawal?
Roll a medicine check.
Medicine 12.
Yeah, it could be.
For tonight's camp, so we're using 3 of the tents, right? Because we've got 6 of us with myself, Hagrid, Leovin, Crispin, Tony, and Esmeralda.
Mm-hmm.
So we're using 3 of the tents. Can I tonight when we make camp use the 4th tent to try to can we arrange the tents and use the 4th tent as sort of a wind screen to help block some of the wind? Obviously, since we're climbing a mountain, we're gonna become more and more exposed.
Are you asking me or the party?
You.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. That's what I would like to do.
All right. Roll. Who wants to help them in creating, repurposing the tent for utilizing it in a way other than which it's intended?
Sounds like a job for me.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
I try to help, but just get in the way.
So Lucian is going to roll with advantage because Leovin is helping him out.
Okay. Natural 20, so 21 for the survival check, if that's what I was rolling.
It's set up almost perfectly. Is that as long as you guys are in your tents, it's not really whipping, it's not making a lot of noise. You can sleep restfully, and to the point where you can leave it half open, and it's not going to bother you.
All right.
So are we setting up camp now? Is that
I said that for when we set up camp. I'm assuming
Leovin on the way while we've been hiking? Have we seen any signs of really anything, like any other life, or that we're on the right track or something?
Just be straightforward. You're asking if we've seen sign of bears.
I want to check for tracks.
Roll survival.
That's a natural 20 plus 7.
You see some tracks that look remarkably like goats. There's 3 goats.
You guys like goat?
Who doesn't?
Do we have tzatziki?
Is that an orc thing?
Very much so.
Then no.
I have had it before. I don't remember what city I was in, but it is a wonderful, delightful sauce.
One of the few things we do well.
Let's follow after the goats.
We eat a lot of goats, so we gotta adjust.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes you about 15 minutes to track the goats, but eventually you find a handful of mountain goats, like just standing on a rock face. With no real issue, because once again you're a ranger and you can do things like that.
Let's eat.
Let's eat a live goat.
Like, let's kill
Yes,
one right now.
this is Kristen's time to shine.
You're going to step 7, and I feel some of us aren't wise enough to follow steps 1 through 6 first, as Esmeralda points to the half-orc. And that, like, trying to make sure he doesn't see it, but letting everybody else know. We'll make a ranged attack, or I'm assuming you're using bow and arrow for this.
Yeah, that's the way to do
Alright. Ranged attack.
it. 21 to hit.
Alright, hits the first one. About the second one?
12.
Just barely hits. You're lucky that goats aren't armored. And the third one?
23.
Oh, it hits so hard. Based off where you hit, the first and the third were pristine shots, and the second of it went right through its stomach, so it got hit but was able to escape. So you have 2 goats, which can create somewhere around 40 and 50 pounds of edible meat.
Wow.
Nice.
Eat for free tonight.
Yeah. Rangers, man.
Sweet.
Make sure you cross off 3 arrows in your
Yes.
quiver, unless I gave you quiver of infinite arrows.
You didn't officially. I've still got like 30, so we're good.
Cool. The quiver of the DM doesn't give a shit.
I think that's mostly what it is.
All right. So, what is the order of watch tonight? Crispin, I
Well-
think you should take watch tonight since you.
Yep, I can do that. I want to talk to Laven real quick about using our plethora of traps to make like a perimeter around the camp. Not only for, if we get lucky and catch a bear, that's great. If not, hopefully, it works as a defense perimeter.
Yeah, so let's set them up. I know I have 3 traps myself.
I've got 2 medium, 2 large, so.
So yeah, let's spread them out kind of around the perimeter.
Good.
As Tony comes down to the camp for a little bit, he just sits there and is like, wait, are we trying to keep them out or trying to keep me in?
Both?
Little column A.
¿Por
Little
qué no
column B.
los dos?
Yeah, that's fair. Yes, I want you to stand watch and sit there and follow anyone up until our perimeter line. Alert us if anything tries to cross into our perimeter. At that point, the bird just kind of sits there with a little steampunky, like little nod up and down, just to signify that it's understood the command. And we'll start watch. First watch.
Oh, Crispin will take it since he didn't take one last time.
All right. As you guys put the fire down, begins to roar a little bit. Not a lot of smoke this time. because you guys let the wood dry for a few hours. Not really becoming a problem at all. Go ahead and roll a survival check and then a perception check.
Oh. 8 on the survival and 16 on the perception.
All right. You begin to see that Aes begins walking towards the northern end of your perimeter.
Okay. I don't hear anything or anything.
I mean, you hear Aes moving.
Right.
Magics aren't exactly quiet.
What were Ace's commands again? Just go back, just to control the perimeter, right?
Came into the perimeter.
Okay. I'll just keep my eye on them for now.
Okay. Based off the fact that this is kind of like grassland, very, very easy to maintain an eye on it. Eventually, it gets a little bit off into, like, pretty close to where the perimeter was. 10, 15 minutes go by, you don't see it come back.
I'll go take a quick stroll to the perimeter and back.
All right, as you sit there,
Yeah.
As you sit there, you see a is standing right over a trap, one of the medium traps that you have set up.
Yep.
There's a fox trapped in the trap, just a regular, mundane, like lynx style, like fox or cat, whatever it happens to be taxonomically defined as, and it's just literally standing there. Apparently, AS did not understand that it was enemy targets instead of just animals.
Told Tony he's got to be more specific with those orders.
I look at AS and I tell him, "Good boy," and I open up the trap and I take a bite of the fox for a nice midnight snack.
Okay, roll for protein.
Ooh, that is a very healthy fox. That's a 13 protein.
Oh, it is not gamey at all. That is pure protein fox.
Yes.
At that point, now that you begin consuming an uncooked animal, AS just begins walking back to the camp.
And I'll start following with its, punctured in my fangs.
All right, cool. That's pretty much all that happened in your watch. Next up.
We never discussed who's next.
I can take a second watch again. Maybe Laven could take a watch with me, and then Haggard can take a watch, and then Laven take last watch.
Whatever.
I think someone should take a watch with me just because I'm not good at keeping the fire going. Well, are we doing better with that tonight, DM?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you guys are much more prepared for it.
Okay.
And also not being in a swamp anymore kind of helps.
Sure, yeah. All right, I'll take second watch, and then if anyone wants to take watch with me, they can.
Esmeralda elects to.
Okay.
So, Lucian, do you mind if I ask you a couple more questions about your sword?
Sure.
How do we know that sword is aligned with our interests? How do we know it's not using you?
Well, when I attuned to it, and I show her on the handguard where Strahd's name is emblazoned.
Mm-hmm.
When I attuned to the sword, Strahd's name showed up on it, and I felt that that was the sword sort of aligning with my interests and helping me to vanquish Strahd. And when we fought Strahd, it seemed easier to hit him.
Okay. Fair.
So I guess that's my experience with enchanted swords isn't deep, but that seems like a good sign.
My question is more, if it came to the point where, as this land has shown, anyone with power tends to abuse that power. If it came to choosing us or that sword, Would you be able to make that choice?
I'd like to think so.
All right. And I consider the matter settled. Just hopefully it never comes to that.
Agreed.
Your shift happens without incidents. With you guys being the grassland, there's a lot less places for things to hide. Pretty easy. Third shift.
Is that me?
Yep.
All right.
The wind begins to pick up a little bit. The windscreen is effectively doing its job, keeping the fire alive, but it's making a fair amount of noise. Anything that you want to do a perception check on that requires hearing, you're going to have to take a disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay. Anything that you want to do with the camp overnight.
With the camp. Fire's still good.
Fire's still good, yeah. Each screen is doing its job.
Do kind of a walk around the perimeter.
As you do that, that's when your passive perception doesn't matter anymore since you're actually perceiving. Go ahead and make 3 perception checks. Because you're looking as opposed to hearing, you can make them without disadvantage.
Okay, so it's a 12, a 25, and a 19.
All right. At no point do you sit there and, based off your training, everything looks like small animals again, but you're not seeing anything that would look like rabbits to complete your hat. You're a little bit too mountainous to find small rabbits. However, you'd also get the ideas with here, the color of the rabbit's fur would also change, so you'd definitely get a weird color about it.
What about that fox? Is the fur still there?
There's patches of fur wherever the half-orc didn't bite.
Is there enough I could use that to finish the hat?
I don't know. Crispin, how much of that did you eat?
I just had a nice little drumstick.
I'd say,
The leg and a joint.
yeah, there's... Make a survival check. See how you see the remainder of the fox.
13.
There's a couple of useful patches that you're able to cut through. You might have enough to make a hat that would fit on your head now.
I'm going to try sewing that while I'm waiting.
Cool. That will be... Make a dexterity check on that.
Okay. Ooh,
Do you
that's
also
bad.
it'll help you make clothes?
It's a 7.
Yeah, you completely wasted the fur.
Damn it.
Sorry. Yep. But your shift ends without incident, and the 4th does as well, so we'll go straight into the morning.
All right.
What's today's path?
I think
Well, you've pressed onward. Get to the Amber Temple and see what's in there for ourselves.
Yep.
At this point, it can't be much farther now.
I wouldn't think so.
Actually, is it much farther now? Based on that, you're on the road, so that's normal movement. There's 1 mile, there's 2 miles, which you guys can easily make 3 miles. You begin to reach Mount Ghakis is, and you're kind of in the foothills. You made a summit last night, we'll say, and you can see a path like that kind of like switches back and heads up the mountain more. And you can see that there's a cutout almost directly north of where you guys are standing at. So you're like on that path just south to X.
Okay.
It'll take you potentially about 3 hours of travel to get there.
Okay.
Yep. At that point, you get into this page right here.
rooms.
Yep. And oh, that's just Laven. Laven, you're here. Everybody else can screw off.
Laven, slow down.
I can't help it.
Well, the good news is you guys all put yourself in the middle of the map for the Strahd fight, so it's easy to get you all back here. There you go.
Get off me.
How'd you stop so
All right.
fast?
All right, so as you travel through snow-swept gravel roads, climbing the mountainside, as it travels north after Salinka Pass, the road begins to fade away under a covering of snow, but it takes you far enough to see the facade of some kind of temple carved into the sheer mountainside ahead. The front of the structure is approximately 50 feet high and has 6 alcoves containing 20-foot tall statues. Not statuettes. Each statue is carved from a single block of amber and depicts a faceless, hooded figure, its hands pressed together in a gesture of prayer. Between the two innermost statues is a 20-foot tall archway with a staircase leading down.
Seems like we're in the right place, huh?
Down we go.
To the west, you see a fissure after the farthest left statue. And that natural fissure is opened in the mountainside west of the temple's facade, creating a gap 2 feet wide, 10 feet tall, and 15 feet deep. You see light coming from a room beyond, and you hear human voices there as well.
You hear human voices through that fissure?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think, guys? Do we want to investigate that, or should we head into the temple?
We can't make out what the voices are saying at all.
If I move over to a different place, I can answer that question. When you sit there and you kind of listen in, you hear what sounds like weapons being sharpened. Two people kind of talking about fights that they've had in the past. It comes down to these weren't fights to the death, but more like games. Yeah.
Okay. Do we think that the sound of the weapons might be them with the weapons / armor that we're looking for?
Why don't we just go in the front like normal people?
Yeah, okay.
That's fair enough.
It's not like we're not supposed to be here or something.
Option.
At least.
And not
Yeah.
let's not be overly antagonistic, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let's not be Tony.
All right, let's head through the front door.
Oh, sorry, Tony. Didn't mean to be overly antagonistic. Just so easy. It comes naturally to us, guys. And at that point, Esmeralda realized that you've all walked away from her. Hey, wait up! Yeah, as you enter down the steps, you see that they're covered in ice, and they descend 10 feet in total to a time-ravaged hallway with arrow slits in the wall. Beyond the hall lies a vast sepulchral darkness. Sepulchral. English is...
Sepulchral.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do we want to go back up and yell at the people through the fissure? I mean, best case scenario, we have a good conversation. Worst case scenario, we have the high ground.
It's over, Anakin. At that point, Esmeralda's kind of looking through the arrow slits. At that point, she just sits there and taps on Crispin's shoulder and points to the other arrow slit on the left side.
That is a nice hole you're showing me.
At that point, you kind of just see an empty room here, and then she goes and checks the other side. Goes like, "Huh? There's it's a skeleton wearing wizard's robes. There's a wand in his chest, but I can't get an idea of how to get into that room."
I guess I have an idea. I will dimension door on over there.
All right. As you dimension door, you sit there and see. You're able to just pop in instantly. As soon as you see that there is sort of a secret door formed in on the wall on the west side. You go to the western wall, find the wizard, and he is in fact a wand. Well, the remains of him clutch a wand.
I will. I'll grab that wand.
All right. So for your inventory, just write down a wand of secrets.
Oh.
Secret.
Then I kind of want to look around. Are there any passages out of this room, or
Just that secret door. So you are currently like right there, and there's a secret door right there.
Okay. I would like to go to there.
All right. Using your not wand of secrets, but really your wand of hands, you push open the secret door, and you find shattered bits of wood cover the floor in this frigid 20-foot square room. The ceiling in each of these rooms is about 10 feet high. And then you have a door right here. These rooms should be connected, but I drew maps poorly. So that will let you enter this room here.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the arrow slot and ask them, and then try to discuss a way to get everyone else over here.
Okay.
Guys. There's a door. Seeing as I died with everyone around me, I am kind of hesitant to go to places by myself. It doesn't seem like it'll end well. So let's find a way to get over here. What are the walls made out of?
Yeah. The walls are just kind of carved into the mountain itself, so this is all just natural rock. But I'm also going to call the session right here, because next week I have a guest player coming in that will help you guys out at the Amber Temple.
You mean 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, yes.
Okay.
So I don't want you guys to get deeper in here without having this guest NPC coming in and actually having a chance to do much with you guys.
Okay.
Groovy.
Yep, so you guys survived your first real encounter with Strahd.
Yeah. We sure did. It was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Would you call it sweaty?
Not quite.
I was.
Do I have any idea of what the Wand of Secrets is at this point, or is it wait and see type
I'll
thing?
answer that question in a little bit, because, yeah.
Okay. Groove.
Okay.
All right, well, I will end the stream now then. Stop streaming.